Biden were indicted, say, as you suggest, for, facilitating Hunter Biden's advancement in business, exerting any kind of influence he could, do you think that should disqualify him from the presidency?
I think
this MAGA woman bites her tongue on Biden, inadvertently indicting Donald Trump and disqualifying him from the presidency. Watch this.
From the presidency?
I think his mental capacity should disqualify him for the
presidency. Specifically what I just asked, though.
Yes. If you're found guilty, just because you're charged, no. But found guilty, yes.
So if Trump is found guilty before the election, do you think he should be disqualified?
Not with a jury and a judge and lawyers and everything in these liberal cities, because he's being set up, and I don't buy it. I don't care whether they find...
The mental gymnastics prove too difficult for this Trump supporter, arguably because it's impossible to keep up with the countless civil and federal cases racking up against 45, as he faces re-election in November. And the MAGA crowd's obsessive equivalency between the former and current president are startling. They reek of desperation and futility, as if bringing Biden down to their level will absolve Trump of his shortcomings. But Republicans have abandoned the plot. And the difference between rumor and reality, indictment and innocence, and the unfortunate truth of Trump's dwindling chances are lost on them. So we'll have to break it down once again.
I don't buy it. I don't care whether they find... You put a trial in Ohio for him for the same charges, then maybe I'd believe whatever the outcome was.
Right, but there's a lot of Trump-appointed judges and prosecutors who are involved in this too, right?
It doesn't matter. They bought out. They sold out. I mean, look at that one guy that, I can't even think of his name, but the head honcho that started all this. He looks like a freaking KGB guy, please.
At this point, I can't tell if being called the KGB by the right is an insult or a compliment. But what is it gonna take for MAGA to realize just how crooked their king is? What his supporters are petitioning for is a boneless legal system for the powerful, cherry-picking conditionals that enable the select few to subvert the system and elude any sort of accountability. The focus is instead on wagering the facts of a substantially supported and verifiable accusation that Donald Trump undermined the United States government. And instead of inventing conspiracy theory or disrupting the channels of legality that are supposed to deliver justice, we instead have to grapple with and battle against the ethics of having a criminal lead the free world. But the infidelity of the MAGA crowd reaches its worst yet in this next clip.
It's becoming pretty clear that there were some high crimes and misdemeanors as far as bribery and things like that. So if that's the case, and he's proven guilty in an impeachment trial or something like that, then certainly that would disqualify him.
What's the difference between what that would do for Biden versus Trump?
For one thing, I don't believe Trump is going to be found guilty of any of the charges. I think they're trumped up charges, if you will. So I don't think he's going to be found guilty. I would support him even if he is found guilty. So
when our MAGA chief here pleads on behalf of a guilty Donald Trump, supporting a traitor without remorse. This is the militant allegiance that wards off any reasoning or logic or piecemeal argument that renders our congressional bodies dysfunctional and our civil needs unmet. And that is why we get fervent supporters like the ones in the earlier clips, who compromise their morals, their logics, and their character, and employ cognitive dissonance to vent their political frustrations and insecurities into an exaggerated figure and despotic leader like Donald Trump. And like Trump, Republicans turn to their traditions and prejudices, regressing into ancient arguments that are reassuring, but ultimately false and ineffective. Republicans are vindicated by an ungrounded sense of entitlement. It's a means of coping with the disappointment of a system that has failed them. But what is lacking in their lives is the same as what is lacking in the circumstances regarding Donald Trump. It's justice. We need justice. We need justice for the people of this country and for Donald Trump. Because if we can't manage to hold the President of the United States responsible for his crimes against the country, there will be no justice. This is Adrian Costa with Rebel HQ. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and check back for more videos. See you guys soon.